Hello, welcome to Movement Not Miracles. I'm Anna from Eat, Move, Be Happy. And Movement Not Miracles is your bite-sized version of ideas to keep your joints mobile, keep your joints healthier, stretch through some of those muscles and prevent things from stiffening up and ward off some of those aches and pains that we can get when that happens. And particularly if we find ourselves sitting for long periods of time and sitting in positions that are not particularly, with not good posture. That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? It's not very grammatically correct, but you understand what I'm saying. And I think most of us could probably improve our posture. I know I certainly can. I get lazy and I find myself be very round-shouldered and sitting in chairs, sort of slobbing back in using the chair to support me rather than supporting myself through my muscles. So a couple of things that we're going to work on today, some mobility stuff through our upper back and our shoulders, and some strength stuff for our upper back, so that, because basically to look after your posture, your muscles need to be strong enough to support your body in the position you want it to be in, and the muscles need to be flexible enough for that to happen. So it's a combination of flexibility, mobility and strength. I think I have a little dog who wants to come in, so I'm going to let her in because she's whinging at me. Come on then, are you going to sit on your bed? This might not work, she might have to go back out. I had to put her outside so that I didn't get interrupted, but hey ho, we'll see if she settles. This is Nala, by the way, my daughter's dog. Come on a play date. Right, enough of that wittering. Nala, sit on your bed. Good girl, on your bed. Just sit there, sit, sit, sit. Goodness. What do they say? Never work with animals and children. How many times do I need to be reminded? Haven't got any Martha here today, so we've got a Nala instead. Stay. Right, so to start off with, I am going to use a yoga strap shortly. So some sort of belt, strap, broom handle you might want to have handy. But to start off with, we're just going to remind ourselves of standing in that, or sitting. You can do these seated or standing. Standing nice and tall with your weight evenly distributed, or sitting nice and tall on the bones of your bottom. And think of standing or sitting up out of your pelvis, so you're not slobbed down with a nice rounded back. And then just think of shoulders back and down. So nice and relaxed to start off with, and pay attention to where are your shoulder blades on your upper back. And then we're just going to do some shoulder shrugs and really simple moves, lifting our shoulders up towards our ears and then letting gravity drop them down. So shrug them up as high as you can and then drop them down. So we can get a lot of tension in our neck and our trapezius muscles at the top of our, the top of our back and into our neck here. So just shrugging the shoulders and letting them fall back and down encourages some of that tension to move away. A couple more. And when you're doing this, try not to let your back arch, so protect that lower back. So to do that, you need to be working through your tummy, so your abs, core muscles should be working, and think of working through your glutes to tuck that pelvis under. So you're stabilising all of the lower half of your back and hips. Right, so now we're going to take that into shoulder rolls. So the beauty of a shoulder roll is not only is it using the muscles on your upper back and your shoulder blades, getting your shoulder blades moving, which is how your shoulders mobilise, but also you get a nice stretch across the front of your chest, and the muscles in the front of your chest, if you are very round-shouldered, can shorten. So it encourages that position to happen, because if your muscles are not stretched enough and relaxed enough to allow that position, then you're never going to get any movement through your shoulders. So shoulders up and back and down and really squeezing them together, shoulder blades together I should say, you get a nice stretch across your front chest. And I know I've said this millions of times now in this lockdown period, or this period of restriction, which hopefully we are moving towards not being as restricted. I've said this a million times. If you did these little and often throughout the day, and you can do them anywhere. You can do them when you're waiting for a cup of tea, when you're waiting for the kettle to boil. You can do them whilst you're preparing your lunch, or when you are waiting in the supermarket. You might get people looking at you a bit strange in the supermarket, but hey, you'll have a posture that's not giving you backache. So get them done. Do them little and often. They're so simple. The next stage, or another version of these, is to introduce the arms. Now, okay, you need to be a bit careful doing these in the supermarket, because as you're going back and down, you might clack somebody in the face, and people don't like being clacked in the face. I've noticed this, but you can do them when you're waiting for the kettle to boil. So nice big moves. Palms up as you come back round. Don't let that lower back arch, remember. And trying to take, now my shoulder flexibility is not brilliant, but you're trying to take your arms back behind your ears as much as you can. So I get more movement when I use the strap, which we'll do in a second, but just encouraging as much movement as possible through your shoulders and shoulder blades. Right, so similar sort of thing now. We're going to do shoulder dislocates. And again, for those of you that are familiar with Movement Not Miracles, these are one of my favourites because my shoulders, I have to work at my shoulder flexibility. I do quite a lot of work on my shoulder flexibility, given the fact that I've had both of them operated on because of various problems, and I don't want that to happen again. I pay attention to them. So learn from my mistakes, keep your shoulders mobile, and work on your upper back posture. So I'm going to show you from the side, so you can see with this move, I just need the strap a little bit longer. Oops, might be a bit long now. With this move here, you can really get a stretch across the front of your chest. Now, I am not letting that happen with my back. So I'm keeping my pelvis tucked under to protect my lower back, and then you can go all the way round and down. And my palms are now facing forwards. My elbows are staying straight, and I'm coming back over. Now, there shouldn't be any pain in this move at all. So if your shoulders don't like it, you should feel some, you might feel your muscles working, but there should not be joint pain. So if your shoulders don't like it, don't do it, and stick with the shoulder rolls. But for me, it means I can get my arms, even if I shorten the strap so that I'm not going to get my shoulders all the way over, but now I can work to get my arms further back than I can when I'm doing it without the belt, because I can brace my arms at the top, so I've got something to push it against. So that's what we're going to use the belt for the next couple of moves. Or you can do this without, so in fact I'll show you without first. So one of the, again, another very simple move that you can do, it's not necessarily easy to do, just creating some letter shapes with your arms. So creating a capital I, a capital Y, and then a capital T shape. So you're working through shoulder mobility, but also you're working different muscles in your back in a slightly different way. It's all postural, and it's all good for improving that upper back strength. Now for me, get your setup right. Think of, as you reach your arms forward, we're not reaching forward so that we're getting a stretch in the upper back. We'll do that in a minute. But think of keeping your arms connected into your shoulder joint. So it's not reaching forwards like that, it's keeping your arms in and lifting your arms back. Now I'm going to work quite hard to get my arms up and back. What wants to happen is that. So I've let go of my lower back, which we don't want to happen. And that's about as much movement as I can get through my arms. So as you can see, it's not very far back. I've not got straight arms through my armpits here. Now that's quite hard work for my shoulders and for my upper back, which is good, but to encourage a little bit more and a little bit more movement, if I use a strap to brace myself against, so if I can show you from the side, so arms are connected, keeping my arms straight. Don't forget to keep breathing and stay relaxed through your jaw. You can see I've got a little bit more movement there. It's still not fantastic, but it's a bit more movement than before. So that's a good one for me to practice on. Next shape. So again, same sort of setup. We're going to do the capital Y shape. So lifting our arms, so your palms are facing inwards, leading with your thumbs, and your elbows stay straight, and we're aiming to poke your thumbs back. Again, getting those arms back behind your ears if you can, without this happening. So, and keeping your shoulders away from your ears. What I caught myself doing then was lifting my shoulders up, and we don't want that to happen. So we don't want this sort of action. So a good routine to get into, you can do thumbs back, capital I, elbows straight, hold it for a couple of breaths, come back down. Capital Y, elbows straight, leading with your thumbs, back as far as you can, really squeezing those shoulder blades together, and down. And then capital T, leading with your thumbs, and you get a nice stretch across the front of your chest. Arms stay parallel. If I turn to the side, so arms stay parallel, palms stay up, thumbs back, and stretch across the front of your chest as well. Now I can really feel my deltoid muscles working, so the muscles in the tops of my arms and into my shoulders, and the muscles in my upper back. So we're going to go through all of that one more time. So capital I, shoulders away from ears, nice and relaxed through the jaw, and release it. Y, leading with your thumbs, don't let that back arch, elbows turn straight, and then T, stretching across the front of the chest. A couple of breaths, and then release it. And then we'll have a bit of a tactical waggle of the shoulders. Okay, so you should feel as if your upper back has worked. I certainly feel as if I've got a bit more space in my upper back, and I can feel the work through my shoulders, so I must have been doing something right. Don't forget, doing little and often is a good plan of the mobility stuff. We're going to finish off with a couple of stretches, just because they feel nice. So we're going to stretch across our chest first. Clasp your hands into your lower back, shoulders back and down. So think of shoulders back and down, and then really squeezing your shoulder blades together to get a nice stretch across the front of the chest. You can just probably get a little bit of a deeper stretch than when you do that capital T shape. Just get a bit more stretch through those pecs, which are important. To keep those stretched through to look after your posture, as we've said. And then we're going to reverse it and do the other way. So we're going to stretch across our upper back. So this time, when you reach your arms forward, you can really stretch them away. Let your chin fall to your chest. And you should feel a nice stretch. I can actually feel that going down my back as well. Across your upper back. Really reach away with those hands. And relax. Okay, So some ideas, simple ideas, like I said, not necessarily easy to do. Do them little and often. I don't know, put post-it notes around your house, look after your posture, sit up tall, shoulders back and down, sit out to the bones of your bottom. All of those things to remind you to have more awareness of how you are sitting and how you are supporting your body. Because believe me, if you can avoid getting stiff joints and an achy back, that's far better than trying to work it out in the first place. So enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We still have no lambs. I think we've probably started watching a little bit too early, but I will keep you posted on the lamb front. We do have an awful lamb from elsewhere. A friend arrived and said, please can you look after this one? So we're feeding an awful lamb that's got nothing to do with us, but he's doing okay, which is good news. So I will keep you posted on the rest of the lamb front. So enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Please share Movement Not Miracles, and don't forget to check out the website www.eatmovebehappy.com. We have other online coaching programs to help you with your eating and exercise habits. And there is funding available if you live in the Craven area, so please do contact us. I think that's it from me. Have fun, and I will see you tomorrow.